Daily Broadside, day 748. Well, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two. They got nothing but the genes, but they got different strokes it takes. Different strokes it takes. All right, listen. So get this. I was reading something this morning about Liza Minnelli and David Guest, because I was trying to remember what was that weird acting, goofy faced like music guy that she married for like a year or two, and Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor were in the wedding and all that stuff. Because Liza, that's a weird study, odd career. She's really done nothing. I mean, you take Cabaret off the table and like Arthur 2 or whatever she was in, she's like done nothing. I don't know why she's such a celebrity. I don't get it. I mean, I know who her mom is, but apparently her mom was kind of a bitch. But anyway, so I'm reading about it, and it says that David, which if you want to watch an awkward kiss, it's right up there. It's odd that Michael Jackson was there, because the Lisa Marie Michael Jackson kiss that they did on, I think it was the MTV Music Awards back in the day when they got married for a couple weeks, that was a little awkward. David Guest and Liza Minnelli's kiss is a little awkward too. But at any rate, one of the things that came out of that marriage was divorce, like 2 years later. And so he claimed that she beat him up, which, you know, I guess so. I mean, I could see like a kitten beating him up, and that she gave him the herp, right? And I was like, wow, that's kind of funny. Not funny. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's just kind of a weird thing to accuse somebody else of, but I guess it happens all the time. And then I was thinking, I was like, you remember the days where, like, it's probably been 20 years by now, where all the herpes, commercials came out and everybody was just open about having herpes, which statistically I think is like 40% of the population or something. It might be more, I don't really know. But everybody's like, you just got to be honest with your partner and let them know that you got the herp and blah, 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 and all this. And I was thinking this morning, I was like, when I was reading this, I was like, the only thing I could think about that would be good about having herpes would be the fact if you could tell people that the reason you got herpes was from Liza Minnelli. They'd be like, you'd sit them down in the breakfast nook one morning and be like, I know we've been together for a couple weeks and, we haven't been intimate yet, but I just need it. And they're talking over coffee, like Gavalia or, something like that. Was it Gavalia that had the commercials in the 80s where they're like, oh, do you remember the trip we took to France our senior year? Jean-Luc, the little cans of Gavalia. Is it Gavalia, or am I think I'm talking about English breakfast, or I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't drink coffee. Anyway, so you're sitting there and you're having some kind of English breakfast there in the breakfast nook. Then you got your hand on her hand, or she's got your hand on her. I don't know who has the herp, a guy or the girl, doesn't matter. And you're breaking it to him. You're like, I just need to be honest before we're intimate that I've got the herp. And she's like, or he's like, they're like, what? Oh, this is such a setback. I don't know what to say. And then the person's like, I guess it would have to be the girl, because Liza's probably not been women. But anyway, then the guy would like hit her with the zinger, be like, but I did get it from Liza Minnelli, so there's that. I don't want to brag, but I did get herpes from Liza Minnelli. And then she's like perplexed, because she's like, I don't know whether to be, like anticipatory, my celebration of this, or even more upset that I have to follow Liza Minnelli, who's just a weird person. Then she starts going off about how she shouldn't be a celebrity because she's really done nothing other than Cabaret and Arthur too. How do you put Dudley Moore, just a stellar actor, and Liza Minnelli together? You're like, hey, we've got Dudley Moore for the new movie. That's excellent. Who can we get to trash this operation? Let's get Liza Minnelli. Ooh, she's got the herp. I don't know. I think Liza's still alive. David, I believe, is no longer with us. I don't know. I'm just saying. I hope you out there don't have herpes. It would suck for you. And really, that's really the gauntlet of life, is trying to traverse your way through your entire life while not getting a sexually transmitted disease. But all I'm saying is, I hope you don't get it. I hope you never have it. That would be great. If we escape this life without it, that'd be great. But it would be the only silver lining is the fact that, and I don't even know if that's really a silver lining. I guess if you get that, then your life is, you got to lean on something, and maybe Liza is it. I really don't know what I'm talking about because I don't have herpes, or I've never been with Liza Minnelli, so none of this really has anything to do with me. I just thought it was an interesting thing to think of. And by the way, kudos to the Miami Heat NBA Basketball Association for revealing, I think it was yesterday, the new Lawrence Fishburne statue. Oh my God. I've never made anything. I've never made a statue out of bronze. So I don't know what the intricacies are. I would assume you make some kind of clay and then make a mold and then blah, blah, blah. And then you just cast it in bronze or whatever. But they didn't even get close to D-Wade. It looks like Lawrence Fishburne. So that's kind of ugly. And you could tell he was a little put out by it. I don't know. He was like, who is that guy? I don't know if he's being funny or if he was literally like, seriously, who is that? Why do I look like Lawrence Fishburne? But anyway, and I'll tell you another thing. I was watching some human cannonball people. I was diving into that because I somebody called me at like 5:15 this morning, so I've been up a little earlier than I thought I was going to be. But after going to bed at 1 and somebody calls you at 5:30, that's refreshing. So I guess I'm up. But anyway, so I start researching human cannonballs. I don't know why, but that's just where I went. And I got to say, that is probably the most boring job on planet Earth. Because you think about it, right? I mean, I'm sure it's exhilarating for the 1.8 seconds that you're actually doing it. But what do you do all day? Like, literally, your only job is to crawl down a pipe and then some spring mechanism shoots you out, 40 feet away, and you land upside down in a net. You take a bow, and then you're off stage. Like, that's your job. That's it. That's worse than an NFL kicker, like the whatever you call him, the place kicker or whatever, the guy that plays like 40 seconds a game. Like, that's crazy. Like, your job, from walking in, raising your hand, waving to the crowd, all that, you might be on stage in the ring, whatever, for like 3 minutes. And I assume, I haven't been to the circus since I was a wee lad, if we're talking British terms. So I want to say that the human cannonball kind of comes at the end. So you're just waiting all day long to get shot. And I timed it. It was less than 2 seconds. Like, I didn't even get to 1,000 before he was already in the net. So 1.6, 1.8 seconds of work. What do you get paid for that? I don't get it. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and don't get the herp.